shot! What a shot!
Boom, wow, the 9 winning the break.
Oh, she's made the 9 ball. Good afternoon and welcome to the Predator Women Showdown from the Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino here in lovely Las Vegas. First two ladies on the table are the Duchess of Doom, A.FISHER, and she's up against the 2023 Las Vegas Women's Open champion, SEOA. We're playing 9-ball, 1 on the spot. It's best of 3 sets, races to 4. And with me describing the action is the man with the most recognisable voice in Q Sports. It's the adorable Jim Wage.
Hi, Mark. How are you doing? How recognizable is that?
He's been on the helium.
Yes, the Duchess of Doom in your picture. I was asking Mark off air because it's the first time I've seen Allison wearing glasses. And Mark had let me know that she's just started wearing glasses and just won a WPBA event with the glasses on. So glasses from now on for the 56-year-old A.FISHER.
Yeah, no
and as our referee puts the rack together. Oh, sorry, Mark. Sorry about that. And I should probably, might as well, reminds me to let everybody at home know that Mark is in Thailand. I'm in Toronto. And there is some lag time between our commentary. His voice bouncing off the satellite to me, my voice bouncing off the satellite to him. So if we do talk over each other, and it's inevitable, we do apologize now.
Yeah, pretty standard break, Jim, for 9-ball with 1 on the spot. Expect to see a ball, well, almost 100% of the time, but she luckily made a wing ball there. It didn't go straight in, it got kicked, and the 1 ball was hung right over that other corner pocket, look. So a good start for SEOA. We're playing in groups at the moment, and the top 2 in our 4 groups will go through to form our quarterfinal, and they're playing for a first prize, a really hefty first prize actually, $35,000 to the winner and 16.5 to the runner-up, and they are all guaranteed just for turning up, Jim. A nice little bit of money, $2,031.
It's the sort of tournaments that I like showed up for. Well, she's going to have to spin the cue ball here a lot. Around the back of all the colors, get back to the top end of the table as we look. Loaded up with a ton of left-hand spin as she looks. And Mark, this is our only 9-ball event. All the other events, 3 of them already in the books, all 10-ball. Got the Men's World WPA World 10-ball Championships also taking place at the exact same time as this Women's Showdown. But the format pretty much the same. 2 of 3 sets, races to 4, and if it's tied 3-3 in the third and deciding set, then we see the shootout. At least that's what we believe. And here's a chance. Possibility of a 4-9 combination into the side pocket. Dead set.
I think she played for it as well, Jim.
Beautifully played. And look where she took the cue ball just to be safe. And that 9 secures the opening rack for sale. 1-0 over the great Alison Fischer.
You saw her look at that safety shot as well, Jim, off of the 4 ball when she played it, just to make sure if she did miss it. So an intelligent shot, played it as a 2-way, and she's really come of age, this young lady. She beat Alison in the Las Vegas Open semi-final last year from South Korea. Now she's actually represented Korea in the World Cup of Pool as well. She played alongside Kang Lee. Now we all know Kang Lee, of course. He would have been here putting up these lights, I would imagine, and he'll be hard at work now in the Predator Karen booth.
Yeah, so important for a good rack. That's why our official is taking extra care, placing that Aerorack around the Arcos II Predator balls. And SEOA with the first rack in hand, settles into the break, rack number 2.
Yeah, watch for the red 3 into this bottom right-hand corner. Didn't go, Jim. She missed it the first time as well. Well, she's made a lucky ball, the 7, and she's finished nicely on this 1 ball as well.
Yeah, what a glorious start this is. She's breaking with success and landing on the 1. And again, everything's in the open. She plays a good positional shot from the 1 to the 2 here. She might be out this rack too.
One of the few players, Jim, still playing with a wood shaft. I saw Victor Zelensky has joined the dark side. I saw him in his match earlier on against Tyler Steyer using his new Revo shaft.
Yeah, she's just short of what would have been perfect position on the 2. She may have to play the long 3 into the bottom right corner, try and kill the speed of the cue ball and hold for position to the 3. Does have other options too, but that's certainly one. Well, she's made it pretty tricky.
First of 2 rounds in the Women's Showdown today. There will be another one at 4 p.m. later on. And the men's 10 ball as well, well into its beautiful.
Yeah, that was a great shot, Mark. Much tougher than our camera angle made it look. And she's got a thin clip on this 4 and just wants to guard against that 6 ball coming into the equation. Again, great speed. Boy, these are ominous signs for Alison sat in her chair. This is very likely going to be 2 break and runouts in a row.
The only saving grace is, Jim, when she's been breaking, she hasn't been making the normal ball that you'd expect to make with 1 on the spot. So she's been making lucky balls. So Alison will be hoping that luck will stop ASAP. she needs to get back to the table. The longer this goes on, the colder Alison gets in her chair.
Again, unerring, flawless to this point. Mark, you were also telling me that you had spoken to Alison and that she was struggling somewhat with her confidence right now. And you thought you might be able to send her a little bit of advice with a friend that you had.
Yeah, well, I hope that she gets a chance to use it. I mean, there she is, sat in her chair, very, very focused. Now, Alison has won just about everything in English snooker, in English billiards. You know, she's in multiple world champion gyms. She's won world pool titles. She's appeared on the Moscone Cup, the first ever Moscone Cup. Now, were you commentating on that one? 94, I believe it was.
Well, remind me, I've got a very funny story about those early years of the Moscone Cup. And yeah, I did them all up into COVID. But remind me, and I'll tell you a funny story.
See, look, there's another lucky ball, Jim, but this time, no luck on the 2 ball. So it'll just be a safety. So Alison will get a chance to come to the table. Made 2 balls that time, 1 in the side and the 1 ball. Alison knows she'll be getting out of that chair very, very soon. Now, is she playing? She's not playing the 7 ball here, surely, no. Well, this is a mistake, Jim. It's a mistake.
Well, I don't know if she's left enough for Alison to be able to cut it in, though. It's close. I mean, being able to see it is without a doubt the mistake that you allude to, Mark, but has she left enough? If not, Alison can hold that cue ball behind the 4. Oh, she hasn't hit that the way she intended.
Hit it too
Cut
full,
that
didn't
flush.
she?
Just wanted a little bit of a cut. Yep. But I don't think there's a pocket on off her bottom left. The 7 is the goalkeeper there. But a pretty easy reply if she wants to play a good aggressive safety. Again, putting distance between cue ball and object ball. Take that white back into the area it is now. There's always a lot of options when you look at a pool table, and no one's looking at it closer than that man, our referee for the match.
Almost getting behind the intended target that Alison was trying to get behind. These are areas, Jim, where you'd normally expect Alison to have the upper hand at, but unfortunately at the moment, she's just not getting that cue ball where she wants it. Now, this is on this 7 ball, so a good chance for the Korean.
Tough to control position for the 2, though. 7 was always on, but it was always going to be a big question mark whether she'd be able to land on the 2, and unless she gets real aggressive with a bank shot here, you might see her opt for discretion again. Thinner hit, try and run for cover.
Looks good. Could play the kick and stick, Jim.
I actually like that option better than trying to swerve. And she's just called for her extension. Maybe the jump cue making an appearance.
Somebody else making an appearance, Jim. Just behind her there, look. That lady, that's Alison's mum. And next to her is Alison's brother David. That's Chris and David Fisher in the background. Chris now lives with Alison, made the move from Kent. And David is over here to come and support his sister. That guy there in the red top, look, arms folded. Lovely
Another
people.
mistake from Alison Fischer. Yeah, they won't enjoy seeing the way that Ali has started this one out. She's in trouble, Mark. I mean, she hasn't done anything yet close to what she's been trying. And SEOA looks like she's in a very punishing frame of mind.
Perfect again. Nice angle. Probably go short rail, long route. Coming towards the 9 ball. Smooth, isn't she, Jim? Silky smooth. SEOA.
Yeah, everything is going right into the heart of the pocket, too. A 3-0 lead.
Well,
Alison
if you haven't heard
patiently
the
in her
news,
chair. No, let's hear this news.
Yes, and news, Jim. You probably know already. Joshua Filler has been knocked out of the 10 ball by Bautista from Mexico, and also out is Tyler Steyer, beaten by Victor Zelensky, the 2023 Las Vegas Open champion, and that young lady there, 2023 Women's Las Vegas Open champion. She'd love to add the brand new Showdown event to this. 16 women in total, Jim, playing for that top prize. And at the moment in action, we've got Chao Che Yu against Pia Filler. Margaret Fefalova is up against Bean Hung from Australia. Siming Chen made a comeback. She's up against Amber Chen in their match. Han Yu is up against Christina Zlateva. Wei Chu Chen is up against Jasmine Ocean. And Kelly Fisher up against Yuki Hiraguchi, who I believe knocked Kelly to the 1-loss side in the Las Vegas Women's Open. Anyway, back to this one. You're all up to date, guys. SEOA breaking off for the first set.
Wing ball straight
Wing
down
ball
that
straight
time.
in
And
this time.
yeah, thankfully for Alison, the 4 ball comes to her aid. It's just going to be a push out for SEOA here.
Didn't really control the cue ball or the 1 ball that time. Went for a little bit more power, I think, Jim, but did make the wing ball, as you pointed out.
Yeah, these are the sort of situations that when Alison was in her prime, you didn't really want to get into any tactical battles with her. Coming from a snooker background, she'd tie you up in knots.
bit like that, Jim.
Allison very upright in her chair. I think she expects a chance from this. Looks like the 2-cushion escape is on. Well, Sale thought it was on. I mean, she contacted that 3 almost full. So a real error in judgment there. But, you know, again, where she's brought the 3 is making life very difficult for Allison to get on that 2.
And it could leave the 2-4 carom, Jim. That's a possibility. Winner breaks, so there's a chance to come back here. She's quite capable of stringing a few racks together. Wow, I don't believe what she's played there. She's tried to move it, Jim.
Yeah, it just tells you there was just nothing on with that 2. Tried to get the cue ball right into the cluster of 3. Now looking at a possible 2-4 combination, but that's taken the 2 away from where the white will be. So position not guaranteed here either. Well, I didn't know that she was looking at a bank combination. That was a terrific shot, very creative. Again, a little unlucky not to have landed better on the 2. So safety again.
Oh, it's not good. It's not good, I don't think. Once again, misjudged safety shot from Allison. Oh, apologies, she has got cover. Now she's got the co-jump cue out here. I hope he knows. Hope he doesn't need it. Oh, she's fluked it.
Yeah, 9-ball can be a very cruel game sometimes. 10-ball, it's all call shot. And a lot of players prefer 10-ball for that very reason.
Well, she's overcut it. So, oh, she had a bit of a roll again, has she?
Yeah, I think Allison's expression says it all. Came to the table and, yep. Here's what you get. Short cue out. And again, this is a shot that Allison has had to learn because this is totally illegal in snooker. She's had to come across the water and learn how to use that short cue.
Just seemed to rush that slightly, I thought. Took it very, very quickly. Alison Fisher is an MBE, of course, member of the Order of the British Empire, and her namesake, Kelly Fisher, has just been awarded that very, very special honour. And Kelly will be on this table at 4 p.m. today, local time. She will be up against Cesca Centino. We've got Quickfire against the Flash. It could be all over in a flash. That's 4 p.m. later on today.
Well, she may have to draw down the right-hand side and play the short side on that 8, play the 8 to the bottom left corner.
lot of hand movement there when she was down on the shot. She actually shifted her hand over slightly there, Jim. I'm not sure if you saw that. Certainly a lot of movement. And this is for the first set. Well, she's gone a little bit further than she would have liked, but nicely positioned on this one to secure the first set.
Back elbow right in line with the cue. A dominant performance, that one from SEOA. And Allison, well, she'll have to hit the reset button, Mark. Refocus and try and come out guns a-blazing in set number 2. And there's your statistics, and as you'd expect, pretty one-sided. Ball's pocketed. 86 balls to 23. Well, this is Victor Zielinski and Tyler Steyer. I was going to say 86 balls. How has she made 86 balls? I didn't even look at the names.
Well, they're pranking us, Jim. They're pranking us.
Well, you would expect the statistics to be that one-sided, and they were. Actually, they were in that match, too, because I commentated it. But I'm looking, I'm thinking 86. Did I really want to say that?
Yeah, important now.
Remind me to check the names next time.
Just keep sticking to what she knows best. Stay in the moment. Don't panic. Stay calm and wait for your next chance. But she won't be very happy with that.
Well, she's got tons of experience, more so than any other lady playing the game at this level. And there's no quitting her. We know that.
She doesn't have the nickname the Duchess of Doom for no reason. I think Jim might be attacked by his cat just then.
Can you see me?
I can hear you.
Well, good news, bad
news. Want that.
No, fluke on the one, but welcome back to the table. Here's what you get now. Here's what you get now, Allie. Well, I've got to tell that story of the early days in the Moscone Cup, but I need Allison to be at the table for a while because it's not a short one.
Oh, misjudged that.
And not a lot going
well, here's
right
a crazy
right now for
idea.
Allison Fischer.
Here's a crazy idea, Jim.
Go ahead.
2, 9, 5, and then 2, 9.
I think that's the plan, Mark. She wants to hit it flush and leave the 9 over the pocket. The 9 might even follow the 5 in. Now, is she going to play it full throttle and follow through?
Misjudgment.
Slight error in judgment, but you know what? Allison's quite happy to get out of her chair.
Well, she's misjudging everything, isn't she, at the moment? Not the Alison Fisher we are used to seeing.
They're the one that was inducted into the Hall of Fame. She owned the ladies' game. Not long after her making the trek across the Atlantic. And she set the standard. She raised the bar in terms of fundamentals, in terms of match preparation. Many pool pundits see her as one of the best ladies that have ever wielded a cue, if not the best.
Yeah, when she first went to the States, she didn't even have a pool cue, and she borrowed one and won the very first tournament that she entered with somebody else's cue.
But you know what, Mark? Those eyes back then didn't need glasses. He's a tough guy to beat, old Father Time.
Well, she hasn't played flawless, has she, Saya? She's just made the odd little mistake. Okay, she's still expected to make this, Jim. But just a little bit more awkward than it might have been. Oh, right in the heart of the pocket, though, again. Worrying times. We're right down the queue here, look.
Bridge hand rock steady that time. And Alison has to know that this is a match that she's going to have to try and find some form, because it doesn't look like her opponent's going to slip up too often. And she opens her account in set number 2 exactly the same way she started set number 1. Alison is yet to bother the scorekeeper.
And Seowa, I'm sure, watched a lot of Alison's pool as she was growing up herself as a young lady. And there's lots of Alison, Jim, that I can see in the young Korean. Beautiful cue action, great demeanour.
Well, that squared approach, you know, where you come in the preset and pre-shot routine that a lot of players like Alison, from Alison's background, understood and were taught, you know, sighting the ball. I mean, her stance is very square, much like she's never ever really wavered away from her snooker upbringing. But you do see a lot of it in many of the ladies now.
Yeah, and she also had a loss in her first match in this showdown against Wei Chu Chen. Now then, cue ball down. Alison up out of her chair. Look at the 4 ball. I think it's on to the bottom left-hand corner. That'll be her first point of call, maybe. Looking at maybe leaving an angle on the 2. Looks pretty good.
Looks like Alison will be at the table for a while here. Mark, I'll give you that quick story. And it was in the early years of the Moscone Cup when I was commentating. It might have been 94 or 95. Alison actually played in those. And she was partnered with a German lady. I don't know if this lady still plays. Francesca Stark. I don't know if that name rings a bell.
Certainly.
But, you know, the American ladies at that time, Jeanette Lee and Vivian Villarreal. And I remember I was commentating, and Barry Hearn came into the commentary box, and I said, you know, what a beautiful format this is for you, Barry, this idea, because anytime you need the Americans to get a point, you just put the ladies out. Put Allison, who was just starting out playing 9-ball, had probably never ever played it before, had to be told the rules, if I remember correctly. And Francesca Stark, and I said, it's just, if you need a point, you throw the ladies out. They've got no chance against the American ladies. And she said it was, or Barry said it was like throwing the lambs to the slaughter. Well, what do you think that case would be now if the European ladies wanted to play against the American ladies? You'd find so many teams from Europe that would now be the Lions against the American ladies. And Allison secures her first rack mark, an early finish with the 9. And as I was talking about those early Moscone Cup days, she completes her first rack win. Well done.
Yeah, I'm sure you were hoping her to run the whole rack, Jim, but it was an early 9, so you had to speed up your story to the end, and I'm sure you've got loads to tell us of your Moscone days and also your snooker days as well. You grew up with all the greats in snooker, Steve Davis, of course, Cliff Thorburn, Ray Reardon, all the big names from the past. Alex Higgins, of course.
Well, and you know, you mentioned Steve Davis, and Steve and Allison were very close. I remember Allison, I was in Steve's dressing room for an event, and I remember Allison coming in one time too. But she patterned her game after Davis, and both of them had a very famous coach in the north of England, a guy named Frank Callan, who coached a lot of top players. And again, he used to teach what he called the drill, you know, where you had that pause at the end of your stroke that allowed your eyes to go from the cue ball to the object ball, because he taught that the last ball you look at was the object ball before you release. And that pause allowed time for your eyes to go from the cue ball to the object ball and then let go of the trigger. So, and Allison, a very staunch proponent of Frank Callan and his teachings.
Yeah, I remember Frank very, very well, from Blackpool, I believe he was from. Taught many, many players, including Terry Griffiths as well. I know he taught 1979 world champion at his first attempt. Not many people have done that, Jim, in the past, have they?
No. And again, I mean, different times back then. The game, just as the game of pool, the game of snooker now is, the standard is scary good. And I see it with the pool players now, Mark. I've been around so long, and I actually commentated professional snooker for about 6 or 7 years before they booted me over to pool. And God, I've just seen the standard go up and up.
Yeah, big improvement over the last few years as well, as you say, in the pool game, especially from the Europeans. Oh, and this is another mistake. That's not as played. She needs a good cue ball. She hasn't got it, Jim.
No, a lot of unforced errors from Alison Fischer, and coming in an area of her game that you would have never seen an area or an era that you're seeing now. It's just, you know, this was part and parcel of what made her great. I mean, she was clinical with her safety play.
Yeah, if I was doing a pre-match analysis on this particular encounter, I would definitely have Allison as a favourite in the safety department. As we
just
see,
overhit that though, Mark, and yeah, you can see, but she's got the short cue out, and cueing over the 9 when you're jumping won't be a problem at all, because you'd have to elevate and jack up anyway. Well, maybe I take that back. Wow, she's close to that 9. Yeah, that, you know what? That looked uncomfortable even from my couch. It looked like she could put her bridge hand just before the 9, and she's tall enough where she'd have been able to elevate and get into that jump shot much more comfortably than what she looked.
I'm quite surprised she took on the jump shot there, Jim. It was an easy kick. And there's a lot of balls to get safe as well behind up that right-hand side of the table, as we just saw. So I'm a little bit surprised that she took on the jump shot. Very aggressive, though, wasn't it? Wanted to make it.
Yeah, this should be smooth sailing. Be a horrific miss to stop Allison at this point.
Over on table 1.
Still as just like a rock, just planted there.
It's a very, very important moment now, isn't it, Jim, that she gets out here and gets a good break, makes a ball, and gets a run out just to get that confidence back.
A little bit of angle. Force that cue ball off that top cushion and down towards the 9.
Nicely played. So, Alison Fisher, now resident of North Carolina with wife Dee and their children, taking the lead in this second set, Jim. She'll feel well back in this game now. Maybe a little bit of a cold. Just getting a bit of Vicks up the nose, Jim.
I actually never minded having a cold when I was playing, because you get stuffy and it kind of blocks out all the noise. Your head's kind of in the clouds, and just allows you to flow there. We can all let's have another look at Victor Zielinski and Tyler Steyer. They didn't catch me this time.
Graphics man, I think our graphics man has got a head cold, Jim.
I think he was testing me. I think he just wanted. If I was gonna say, well, let's have a look at our match stats. You didn't fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Over on table 1, Pia Fila in action against Chao Che-Yu. Chao Che-Yu has taken the first set. Pia Fila has taken the first game in set number 2. Margaret Fefilova is a set-up against Bean Hung, 2-1 down in the second. And Amber Chen has taken the first set against Amber Chen. Jasmine Ocean. Well, she's taken the first set also against Wei Wei. Back to this one. Our referee getting those balls nice and tight. I suppose, Jim, one on the spot with a hand rack is slightly different, of course, to the to the template that we're used to seeing used for the 9-ball.
Well, yeah, and certainly, and I mean in 9-ball, and I'm assuming the players are not allowed. They're not allowed to come and check the rack because none of them have.
No.
Now, do you miss being in Vegas for this, Mark? Would you rather have been on site as opposed to being 15 hours adrift way out in Thailand?
Yeah, I just think unless you're in the arena, you can't really bring all that atmosphere to the viewer. So I feel like kind of a viewer as well at the moment, rather than being there and, you know, spotting everything going on the outer tables, the buzz, talking to the other players around the arena, getting the latest stories and gossip, you know, to bring the guys at home. So there is that I miss. I don't miss the travel, I must admit that. I don't miss the 27-hour plane drive, or plane ride, rather.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you really miss the flavor when you're not on site. And, you know, we do our best to try and keep it moving and keep the energy up. But when you're on site, you're just aware of so many other things. You look around the venue and you get a sense of the crowd that's there. You know, you hear the applause, everything. It's just, it's different. But like you, Mark, I've done my share of traveling over the years. I'm quite happy to be doing this from the comfort of my apartment. And, you know, lend whatever we can to the show.
Yeah, I kind of miss just when I'm not commentating to be walking around and looking at the other matches, you know, and just really soaking all the atmosphere up. And you just see so much more when you're there, and there's all the vendors around and there's all the fans that want to have a chat with you. And I miss that. I really do.
Well, it looks like some of what was afflicting Allison's safety game might have been contagious, because that was a pretty poor safety effort from SEOA.
Yeah,
Allison better hope that 9 isn't set into the corner. If it is, she can go at this from the bottom cushion. As we look, side cushion now, possible 2-9, but she's not even looking at it, so I don't think it is quite set. And this is a very difficult safety.
It's there.
Wow. I didn't think it was planned like that. How about that? I was watching the cue ball in the 2, Mark, and the 9 tracking right over to the corner pocket. Well, a quick finish, and the first 4 racks in this second set have been halved, 2 apiece. And SEOA with the break to come.
And, you know, it's kind of unlucky, Jim, a little bit to say that the 2 ball's gone onto the 9 like that and left a dead in, but Allison didn't get a good cue ball again. You know, SEOA shouldn't even had a look at that 2 ball. She was trying to get up behind the 3 ball and the 4, which were up over that corner pocket where SEOA's sitting at the moment, and she didn't get the cue ball right. And I think she kind of knew when she walked back to her seat, I've lost this rack as well.
Well, I'd like to, if SEOA would be completely honest, I would like to have gone out and asked her, were you really targeting that 9 on that shot? Because she never really came down and had a good look at it. Had a good look from both sides to check and see the distance between the 2 and the 9. Were they touching? It's all in the books now, though. It all looks pretty good.
Yeah, if it was 10 ball, Jim, she would have had to have called it, so we would have known. But it's 9 ball and anything goes. Some call it bingo, Paul.
ball off the break, but no love on the one.
Yeah, does it bank? She didn't realise she'd made a ball there, Jim. Oh, she can bank this, I think, and hold position for the two. Or is she playing safe? I think she went all out for that, Jim. Got nowhere near it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. She definitely sold out to the bank there. Well, Allison feeling that that was worth a chance. A very thin cut on that one. She hasn't really left anything other than a safety reply from SEOA here.
We do have another women's round for you today, guys, at 4 p.m. But before that, the men will be back in action. And the two games we have for you on this table, Alex Kazakis against Max Lechner. And on table number 1, Jason Shaw against John Mora. A couple of left-handers in action, Jim. I'm sure you'll be watching that one. The guy that plays in your club in Toronto, John Mora.
Yeah, there's no freebies, are they, in the men's game here? Only 64 players and so much talent. They rolled out the welcome wagon here in the Rio to get all these players here. That was a good shot from Allison. It's forged an opening. Again, a mistake with the safety shot from Sale.
I've just spotted another fixture, which I know will get your attention as well, Jim, although it's not on one of the TV tables. Jason Klatt is up against Shane Van Boning. What a match that would be.
Well, it's in the loser's bracket as well, because I know Jason lost his first match to one of the Polish players.
Yeah, Biardo beat Shane, of course. Played magnificent, the Black Tiger. Nice shot. Just overhit it slightly, but still okay.
No, it's looks good. Nice and close to the 6. Doesn't have to do anything special. But just such good fundamentals.
See the hand opening up as well, Jim, on the backswing to keep the cue parallel to the bed of the table. That nice slow backswing, the slight pause, and then push through. Good stuff from Alison Fischer.
Well, this is going to see her 3-2 up. And she'll break to close out the second set, one that she has to win. Well, you've really got to tip your hat to Alice. 4-0, she was
Jim,
down.
just look at...
Sorry, Mark.
No, sorry. Just look at the flag there. Alison Fisher still has the Union Jack, of course, the Great British flag, but she's just got clearance from the WPA that she will be playing under the American flag. She now has her citizenship fully, and she will be available to play for the Stars and Stripes instead of the Union Jack.
Well, I'm impressed with how she just kept her focus. And, you know, it was all one-sided the early going of this match, and she's wrested that initiative away from SEOA. And a good break here. And the foundation will be laid for a 1-1 and take us to a third and deciding set.
Yeah, and I like what I'm seeing, Jim, from Alison in the chair there, concentrating on her breathing, staying in the moment. She knows the only thing she can do is keep giving every single ball 100% concentration, stick to what she does good, stick to the basics, take one rack at a time. She's got all the experience, as we've already talked about. She's got the fundamentals, and she's got that fight, and it's in those eyes behind them snooker specs glasses. Here we go. Wing ball in, one ball travelling over the corner pocket. Is she going to get a look at it? Is the 5 ball going to ruin it? Well, it has. Is there a possible... Oh, it didn't go in. She didn't make the ball. I thought the wing ball went. Apologies, guys. Can I borrow your glasses, Alison?
She's quite happy that 5 was invited to the party now. Just got to be careful. If she does elect to try and duck in behind that 5 on the right-hand side, it's risky. I like this shot better. Clip the left-hand side of that one. It's got more cover to run behind and more cover to hide behind that for that 1. Colors behind the one behind the colors. I like that shot. Just used every ball on the table.
Well. Nicely played. And all of a sudden, Jim, that experience we spoke about on the safety, Alison has found the perfect touch. She's got SEOA in trouble here.
And I think Alison is going to play another snooker right behind the 5 because the 3 and 4 are locked up on the right-hand side. So unless she thinks she wants to get aggressive. But I'd be playing this at a speed to get that 1 off the 2 cushions and get it over towards that 8, 4, and 3.
I think she's playing the 9, Jim, and the same shot. Oh.
Yeah, this is tough too. This will put SEOA on 2 fouls. Yeah, just touched the 5.
Wow.
Just licked the 5. So ball in hand. She never looked comfortable there at all. And 2 fouls.
Well, that's the situation, Jim, where you would have liked to have had the snooker rule where make them play again from where it was.
Yeah, that would be heartless. But Allison looking to make this about as evil as she can. And this is going to be a must-hit for SEOA.
There's the referee warning her. She's on 2 fouls. She has to hit this one or she will lose the rack.
Oh, she's got to look at that one cushion escape the same way Allison just played the one. I feel like Allison could have made this a little tougher for me, Mark. Now she's quite happy to have extricated herself from the mud. And
what a lovely word, extricated. Wordsmith Weich.
they can't spell it.
W-I-C-H.
You know what nationality that is, Mark? Or have I already told you? Nice try,
You
Allison.
haven't told me.
Tried to dislodge that 3 and 4. You and I are countrymen. My dad was born in the north of England.
Well, I never knew that, and I don't think I've ever heard that name other than, oh, from yourself, of course.
I think I come from a long line of lushes because there's a Witchwood Brewery, W-Y-C-H. So I think there were a few beer drinkers in my family. Again, Allison has let her off the hook.
I just noticed something, Jim. Allison, well, even though she's using a carbon fibre, she's not using a glove, and neither does Kelly Fischer when she's using her carbon fibre. Maybe it's a snooker thing.
That was a bad mistake from Seo there. Well, she played so well in the opening set, and all these unforced errors now coming to the forefront. Allison trying to draw this cue ball behind the 3, softly behind the 3. That's no good either.
No, it's just not difficult enough.
Just silly mistakes, really, from both ladies. Allison, a real quick look to see if that 2 passes and pass the 3 into the top corner. What a test of cueing that would be.
It's very tight, Jim, isn't it? Not easy, even if it does go. Test of cueing indeed. Both these ladies had a loss yesterday in their first matches. It's not double elimination, but of course it is a round robin league of groups, and they both would desperately need a win here. 2 losses, you feel, would not be enough to come over the first or second in the group. This young lady lost out to Jasmine Ocean in her match yesterday.
Just caught the point. I think she was always taking that cue ball right behind that 9. But she just caught that side point that may have afforded a chance for Allison to hit this too. Don't know whether or not she can see enough to make it. Possibly. Probably. And what a chance this is for Allison Fischer to win the set and force a third and deciding set. She's fluked the 9 if it's hard enough. How about that? Offers the hand, but what a monumental fluke on the 9 that was. 4-2, she wins set number 2 and does force the decider. Such is the game of 9-ball.
And if we go to 3-3, Jim, in the final deciding set, there will be one of those shootouts that we have seen quite a lot of this time.
Yeah, a lot more than certainly than last year. Really.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've got that wrong.
The drama.
I've got it wrong, Jim. We're already in a shootout. Sorry, guys. This is my first showdown match. We're already in shootout mode. I thought there was a deciding set. Apologies.
No, you're not alone, Mark. I thought the same. But I'm quite happy to see a shootout because this really heightens the drama.
Oh, and
right
all of
out
a sudden,
of the gate, a miss.
Looking very edgy, Jim, now. That was a little bit of a snatch, a little bit of a quick stroke there from the South Korean, SEOA. So now Allison Fischer will, that amazing technique there. As you see her mum look, Chris looking on. The lady with the red hair. Her
Well, the
brother
shootout
left
rules
the
don't
arena,
change
doesn't
though,
want to
Mark.
watch.
You know, 4 innings, 2 from either side, and if it's still tied, box shrinks half the size and increases the degree of difficulty. Oh, big one that for Allie.
Advantage,
Kind of puts
Allison.
pressure over to SEO now. SEO has to convert this 9.
Oh, just. And players still on a shot clock as well. And if you scratch, of course, it doesn't count. The ball won't count. Allison still with the advantage, though. If she makes this,
You know, getting to a shootout though, Mark. How big was that stroke of good fortune on that 9 after Allison missed the simplest of threes. Only to leave the table watching the 9 find the corner pocket. She never shakes her head though, does she? She stays in the moment, carries no negative thoughts around with her. You can all learn from that.
Nothing you can do about a shot you've just missed, but you can do everything to make sure you don't miss the next one. Shot number 3. Back across to the right-hand side.
And now she is applying the pressure to Allison.
One result to bring you. Margaret Fefilova has beaten Bean Hung of Australia by 2-0. That's the only result to bring you up to now. Christina Tkach is 1 set down to Cesca Centino.
Centino, winner of the Las Vegas Ladies Open. Well, Allison's come unstuck a little. And a chance now for SEOA to put the ribbon on this one. If she knocks this one in, she wins. If she misses, Allison has to convert to stay alive. That's the story.
Allison had the advantage at the beginning. SEOA missed her first one. Allison made her first one. There's Mum Chris.
It's there, Mark. Yeah, the handshake. Allison Fischer, a game battle, winning that second set, but SEOA just proving a little too strong in the shootout, Mark. It was not to be for Allison Fischer.
I think, unbelievably, it was Allison's safety game which let her down early on. Just too many chances for that young lady there. And you've got to say, a thoroughly deserved winner. Although Allison did, of course, have her chance, but she's not out of it. It's not double elimination. It is a round robin group system. So we'll be seeing more ladies pool at 4 p.m, but we concentrate on the men's 10 ball. That's coming next for you at 2:30 p.m. on the YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Jim White and myself. We'll see you again very, very soon. Say goodbye, Jim.
I will do that, Mark, and thank you very much. A pleasure as always. Thanks, folks. Enjoy the rest of the pool.